multiplying negative numbers. Here's 3 examples for us to look at. We've got negative 3 multiplied by 5, 7 multiplied by negative 2, and negative 6 multiplied by negative 4. Now you might already have some ideas. You might have heard, for example, that 2 negatives make a positive. That's a useful way of remembering things. But why does that rule work? Well, to do that, we can go back to the distributive law. See, laws in mathematics, they work in every situation. It's not one rule for one situation and another rule for another. It always works. Now, you can check out this on my arithmetic laws video, which is also on this channel. And this is the example that I gave. 2 multiplied by brackets 3 plus 4. Well, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 2 times 7 is 14. Remember, BIDMAS tells us that we do the brackets first. So we know the answer is 14. But the distributive law allows us to distribute this 2 with these 2 terms. So 2 multiplied by 3 plus 2 multiplied by 4, which is 6 plus 8, which is 14. That's how the distributive law works. This 2 is distributed to these other 2 terms. So let's go to some examples of multiplying negative numbers. If we have 4 multiplied by negative 3, we can use the distributive law to explore what this answer will be. Well, down here, let's write 4 multiplied by 3 plus negative 3. What will that equal? Well, here, 4 multiplied by, if we look at the brackets, 3 plus negative 3, well, they cancel each other out, so that makes 0. And 4 multiplied by 0 is 0. Now, the distributive law will give us this. 4 multiplied by 3 plus 4 multiplied by negative 3, and we know that this has to equal 0. Now this one, 4 multiplied by 3, we're already convinced and know that that is 12. So what does the answer to this have to be to make the overall result 0? 12 plus negative 12 is 0. So this here has the value of negative 12. In other words, 4 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 12. It's 4 lots of negative 3. From this we can also say that negative 3 multiplied by 4 is negative 12. Because the commutative law tells us that the order doesn't matter for multiplication. 4 multiplied by negative 3 gives you the same result as negative 3 multiplied by 4. Okay, that's one of those sorted. Let's have a look at another one. What about negative 2 multiplied by negative 3? What will the answer to that be? Well, let's use the distributive law to consider this. Negative 2 multiplied by 3 plus negative 3. Well, here, just doing the brackets first, 3 plus negative 3 is 0. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Now, using the distributive law, we get negative 2 multiplied by 3 plus negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. And we know that this has to equal 0. So what have we got here? Negative 2 multiplied by 3. Well, this is the same as 3 multiplied by negative 2. And now, from a previous example, we can confidently say that this equals negative 6. So what does this have to equal to make the overall result of this 0? Negative 6 plus what makes 0? Well, this has to be 6. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So negative 2 multiplied by negative 3 makes 6. 6. Let's go back to our first page, multiplying negative numbers. This was like the first one, negative 3 multiplied by 5. So when we've got a negative multiplied by a positive, we get a negative answer. So negative 3 multiplied by 5 is going to make negative 15. It's going to equal negative 15. And this works the other way around as well. A positive multiplied by a negative makes a negative, or rather it equals a negative value. So in this case, 7 multiplied by negative 2 will make negative 14. It would equal negative 14. Here, a negative multiplied by a negative, negative multiplied by a negative will equal a positive result. From our second example, so negative 6 multiplied by negative 4 equals 24. And just to complete these, we can say a positive multiplied by a positive equals a positive. So we can remember these and use this in practice, but now we know why that is as well. Let's have just a few more to finish up to make sure you're happy that it works. 8 multiplied by negative 2. Well, we've got a positive here and we've got a negative 2 here. So a positive multiplied by a negative equals a negative. So 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. One more. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 6 equals. Well, here we have a negative multiplied by a negative. So it's this one. So it's going to equal a positive. Negative 5 multiplied by negative 6 is 30.